Hello again, welcome to the MasterCAM course, and let's remember that we are creating our 2D toolpaths, and let's create our roughing process. When we consider our roughing process actually, it will be better for us to create our toolpath actually for only 1 weeks. After that we can rotate our toolpath. So this is my perspective to create toolpath for that kind of operations. And of course, before that, I also would like to extend my curve. So that's also going to help us while we are creating our the toolpath. So to be able to handle that, actually, I just need to turn back to here. Maybe we should select this one and use the right mouse button. And then I'm going to hit here to send all that stuff actually as a boundary and 2D boundary level maybe. Okay, this is the 2D boundary. I can turn to the level and reactivate this one. Okay, let's turn to toolpath again. So I'm gonna focus on this toolpath. Actually, let me turn to wireframe and curve on the edge options, and then I can select this one, and this one. Okay, so after that, maybe we should extend our toolpath. Okay, and maybe we can turn to and trim two entities options. Oops, sorry. We can turn to the modify length options. Maybe we should extend and our curve, this curve and this curve, like this. Okay, and then maybe we should also create that curve here. Oops, sorry. Of course, before that we need to focus on the 3D. While we are focusing on the 3D, we can create this one and this one and this one and this one. After that we can hit here and then extend this curve, this curve, this curve, and this curve, like this one. Okay. Okay, it's ready right now. After that we can actually we can create this curve and this curve, this curve, this curve, and this curve. Okay, so everything seems fine. And after that, let me focus here. Yeah, we need to break that line. I can turn to trim two entities and trim one entity and the break options. I'm gonna break that line by using this line. I'm gonna also break this line by using this line. Okay, so let me keep going for this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Actually, it's also possible to create that kind of curve by using, actually, you know that we use the modify length. We can also activate the break options while we are creating that kind of line. That's also possible. Okay, so anyway, let me create and that curve here. I can turn to here, transform and translate. We can select this one and hit the enter button, and then we can turn to the vector from the point options. We can start from here to here. Okay, and by using the move options, maybe, you know that that's also possible to see that's kind of, and the differences here. We can also easily handle that stuff as well. Okay, let me create some wireframe and length endpoints here. starting from here to here, and then we can easily create and net face here. I prefer to use the single options. I can start from this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, this is my face. It's created. Okay, so actually it's also possible to handle that kind of spline. Maybe we should prefer to use this one. I can turn to here, transform, and the translate. We can select this line and hit the enter button, and then we can select the from two options. I can select this one and this one. We can select the copy options and hit that button, and then we can also select this one, and then I also start from to point options. We can start from here to here. Okay, that's perfect. I can use the clear color options. At that point, actually, it will be better for us to use, and actually joining to that area, we can prefer to use Wireframe. Under the spline, we can prefer to use these options, split blended options. So after that, actually, spline blend options, I just need to select this curve, and then arrow must be on the end of my line, and this one. You know that it's quite easy to create that kind of line here, starting from here to here. Okay, anyway, after that, actually, we can easily create and our net surface and net surface. Okay, I prefer to use the single options. I can start from here, here, this one, and this one, and hit the enter button. We can keep going with the apply options. This one, this one, this one, and this one. When we turn to here, this one, this one, this one, and this one selected. When we turn to here, I can select this one, and this one. Okay, it's perfect. Okay, it's created like this. And after that process, actually, so we are ready to create our toolpath actually. So it's also possible to create some surface actually from solid. We can use the surface from solid options, and then we can activate the select face options. We can select this face, this face, this face, this one, and this one. We can also select all of them, and then we can hit the enter button, and then you're gonna see that all the face is created. Okay, let me select that solid body, and then we can use the right mouse button, and then we can activate level 10. Okay, it can be name of this level can be solid. Name of the level is also quite important. You know that it's can be like this. That circle also can be sent to level 2. Anyway, okay, that's toolpath need to be created actually. Okay, so we can turn to the 2D, and Z axis can be 10. We can turn to the transform and project, and then we can select all this line, and then we can hit the OK button like this one. Okay, this is going to be my boundary. According to this perspective, actually, it's also possible to create that kind of and approach here. For example, we can select that kind of line here. Let me turn back here, or we can, anyway, let's skip this part. Okay, I can turn to curve on edge options. We can select this one, oops, and this one. You can see that all that boundary is created. After that, we can turn to here, and the chain. We can select this one. We can use the right mouse button and then change the color of my boundary. Anyway, we can turn to the levels. We can activate solid model again. You're gonna see that all that and program is created. Okay, let me turn to the toolpath. I'm gonna turn to mill toolpath, surface roughness, and then we can prefer to use the pocket toolpath. When we turn to here, actually, we can easily turn to color section, this one, select all the entities. This color can be selected and hit the enter button. And you can see that 16 face is selected, and then we can turn to the boundary. Oops, sorry. And we can turn to actually chain options, and then we need to select our chain and hit the OK button. Of course, tool diameter is quite important. We need to prefer to tool. Actually, we can use the 10 millimeter and the tool for this stuff, actually. That's going to be my figure 8 and my, oops, my cutting speed, and that's it. Let me turn to surface parameters. It can be 5 millimeter, and the retract position can be 3 as an incremental, and the fit plane can be 1. And this is the stock to leave on the drive surface can be 0.15, and then this can also be and the center of the my actually tool and boundary parameters. And then we can turn to the rough parameters. It can be 2 millimeter, and our cutting direction can be conventional machining, and cutting method can be 0, and gap setting can be distance, and optimize cut order can be activated, and then we can select the broken approach for transaction. And then we can also use the actually entry position. We can prefer to use ramp. This is ramp actually. Okay, everything seems fine. Let me turn back to pocket parameters. Pocket parameters can be parallel spiral clean corner. This is my and step over. Step over can be 50% of to my tool diameter, and we can activate spiral inside to outside options, and we can cancel and these parameters as well. And then let me recalculate my toolpath. Okay, our toolpath is calculated, but we're gonna see that our starting position and my entry motion can be here. Okay, let me organize that stuff. Let me turn back to top view again, and then I'm gonna create and 10 millimeters like this, 10 millimeters like this one. Okay, maybe we should organize starting from there. For example, maybe this one, and we can turn to the home and analyze. We can select this line, and this line can be actually and 5 millimeter, and then we can turn to the wireframe and we can easily create that kind of line here. Okay, sorry about that. We also need to calculate the sum, and maybe we should add extra 1 millimeter for the tangent position. This is my diameter. No, that's not enough. Let me turn to here and add extra 1 millimeter here, and then that is my diameter, can be 10 millimeter, and this is my entry position can be. Okay, and then maybe we should prefer to use 8 millimeter tools. So that's also another solution, like this one. Okay, so we can turn to here, modify length, and then shorten options, and 1 millimeter shorten, and we can delete this one, and then we can create 8 millimeter radius here. Maybe we should also use and 0.5 millimeter. Oops, not minus, 0.5 millimeter shorten options is selected, and then we can create 8 millimeters here. Okay, that's cool. This is gonna be my entry position, and I also gonna use this kind of stuff here. If you would like to see the sharp and place here, you can easily take your actually security like this one. For example, I'm gonna click here. It's a draft face partition. We can activate the weight options. We can start from here to here like this one and hit the enter button, and then I'm gonna create 2 millimeters face like this, and then that's also gonna help us. Okay, let me turn to here. Oops, sorry. Let me turn to my geometry, and then we can activate all that face is selected. Okay, 23 face selected, and then I can hit that button. Okay, let me change my tool diameter. I'm gonna turn to create new tool, and my new tool can be 8 millimeters diameter, and the surface parameters and rough parameters can be conventional machining. We can also activate the entry motion, and when we turn to here, actually we can also select this part, and this is going to be my parallel to spiral clean corner, and then let me hit OK button, and then of course we need to set our entry point. After that selection, my toolpath is gonna calculate it like this. Okay, you know that everything seems fine. Of course, we can also see that we are starting from this position. If you don't want to see that kind of approach here, you can turn to the Home, Analyze, and you can select this line. This is my distance, minus 71. I can turn to the parameters and row parameters, and we can activate the cut depths. We can turn to the absolute, and then we can turn to the minus 0.5 and minus 71. And then we can hit the OK button, OK button. And then we're going to calculate our toolpath again. Okay, so it is calculated. Okay, perfect. After that, we can turn to the parameters and make them as a 1 millimeter as a actually and roughing process. Okay, our roughing process is calculated. After that, maybe we should also use the rotate toolpath options. You're gonna see that all the actually zigzag method can be on this page, this area. So that's also quite important. Okay. You can also prefer to use actually entry ramp helix. We can also prefer to use the center on the entry point options. We can also prefer to use this one. And we can recalculate our toolpath. And then we're gonna see that our toolpath is gonna starting from this point actually. But most of the time I prefer to use the ramp, and ramp degree can be selected like this. Okay, this is the default parameters, and the default parameters is enough actually for us. Okay, anyway, this is the roughing process.